Hey guys, my name is Azaria and welcome to my channel. I just finished my travel series on my channel. If you haven't checked out my travel videos yet, I'll have them linked down below in a playlist, so make sure to check that out after this video. But since I've been to a couple of different airports and a couple of countries, I thought I'd share 10 travel tips with you guys. So let's get into the video. So my first tip is to plan your outfits day by day. So of course when you book your ticket, you're going to know which dates you're traveling, and of course you're going to know why you're going on this trip. So I suggest to sit down and plan every outfit day by day. This will help you to minimize the amount of items you carry in your suitcase, and also just help you already formulate outfit ideas in your mind, so when you get to your destination you won't be like fumbling for things to wear, and everything will already be planned and you'll already have an idea of what to wear. My second tip is to get a folder and print out a copy of your itinerary, a copy of your passport, write down where you'll be staying or the place you'll be going to, whether it be a hotel, a hostel, or by a family member. And always work with a pen. These things are what will help you if you have to fill out the landing card, or if they ask you specific questions at security, you'll be able to answer them without a problem, and they won't like watch you like suspiciously that you're trying to do something illegal. I don't know. It also helps you feel more secure if you have these things. And yeah, this definitely helped me feel better since I was traveling by myself and I knew exactly where I was going and what times my flights were. And I know through security they definitely ask you where you will be staying, so make sure I know this. And a pen is also always handy when filling out forms, and if somebody else doesn't have a pen, be kind and share. Okay, tip number 3 is if you want a really good seat and you don't want to pay for it, like I think it's like an extra $40 to $60 US to pay for your seat before. Check in as soon as check-in opens. Check-in usually opens 24 hours before the flight leaves. So if you have to camp out by your computer or go to the airport 24 hours before to check in, please do this. This saved my life coming back home because I had a really crappy seat, I'm not gonna lie, and I learned my lesson before because I waited to check in and I ended up with a really bad seat going on my trip. So coming back, I definitely checked in as soon as possible. Like as soon as check-in opened, I checked in and I was able to change my seat to a better seat, and that made my flight so much better. Tip number 4 is to wear easy shoes through security. And by easy shoes, I mean shoes that you can take off easily and put back on easily. I mean, this is a basic tip that everybody should know, but this is one of the most important tips for me because going on my trip, I did wear Converse, and Converse are very comfortable shoes to wear, but taking them off and putting them on after I passed security was annoying. And coming back, I traveled in flats and it was so much easier. Also, if you wear shoes that you can easily take off and put on, you can take them off and put them on the plane without a problem. Tip number 5 is if you're going to have a long waiting period in the airport or a long layover, wait to sign into the free Wi-Fi. And wait, let me explain this, right? So you're in the airport, you have to check in, let's say 3 hours before your flight, or you have like a 3-hour layover. And the airport has free Wi-Fi, but most free Wi-Fis, they have like a time restriction, whether it be like an hour and a half to 2 hours, or I think in one airport I was in, it was an hour Wi-Fi, which is so ridiculous, may I add. So what I did is I first walked around to all the shops, and then I sat down for like an hour to sign into the free Wi-Fi, because you don't want to sign into the free Wi-Fi right away, and when it's time for you to board your flight, you don't have Wi-Fi to let anybody know that you're boarding your flight. So yeah, definitely wait as long as possible to sign into the free Wi-Fi, and this will help you like lengthen the amount of time you have, and just for security reasons help you to stay in contact with the people at home before you board your flight. Tip number 6 is if you want your food first and you don't mind going without something such as meat or having a vegan meal, request a special meal when you book your flight. usually specially ordered meals such as vegan meals, vegetarian meals, or diabetic meals. They give them out first so they don't get confused with all the other food that they have. So if you don't mind going without something, or if you are even vegan, request one of these meals and you will get your food first, and you won't be starving waiting for everybody else to get their food before you get your food, because you'll already have it. Tip number 7 is to walk with carry-on essentials, and by essentials I mean things to help you freshen up after you get off the plane. I don't suggest walking with your whole entire makeup bag, but definitely walk with things that will help you feel a little bit better after you get off the plane, because after a 4, 5 and more hour plane ride, you're definitely gonna feel a little bit meh when you get off. So having things like a toothbrush or face powder or even a fresh lipstick to put on definitely helps you feel a little bit better when you're meeting your loved ones or somebody else who comes to collect you. Tip number 8 is, if you are not being collected at the airport by a family member, a loved one, or a company, definitely look for the cheapest option to get to your destination or your accommodation. For me, since I was traveling to London by myself, I didn't have anybody to collect me, so I had to look for the cheapest option to get to my accommodation, and that was either trains or buses. Trains and buses tend to be a little bit cheaper than a taxi. A taxi will cost twice, sometimes 3 times the amount of these things. So definitely don't rush for the taxi. I mean, if it's more than one person, maybe you guys may want to take a taxi, but if you're by yourself or 2 people, definitely look for a cheaper option. And trains and buses usually are the cheaper option. So check those options out before you go ahead and get a taxi. Tip number 9 is a tip that I definitely learned from experience, and that is to buy essential items such as water, snacks, and toiletries somewhere that is not touristy based. And that would maybe convenience stores and groceries. When I was in London, one day I did go to the House of Parliament and to go and see the Eye, and that area, Westminster, is definitely very touristy based. There are a lot of shops that sold water and snacks and little pastries for you to buy, but it definitely was more expensive. I paid £2.50 for like a big bottle of water. But near to my accommodation had a convenience store, and the next day I went to buy the same water, which was £1. So I definitely got ripped off just a bit, and by going to this not really touristy place, I got it for a cheaper price. So definitely go buy your essential items, water, snacks, and toiletries somewhere that, you know, is not near a tourist attraction, or that, you know, locals will go to buy their stuff. My last tip for you guys is to definitely form your own itinerary. If you're not going to be with a tour group or with family that, you know, you plan before you leave, definitely plan your own itinerary. This will help you to stay on track and maximize the amount of things you do in one day. I definitely did this. Every day I got up and I knew like the places I wanted to go, so I did map them out and I planned my days accordingly to places that were near to each other, and that definitely helped me maximize my days. And also, in addition to this tip, do not be afraid to ask for help and ask for directions. You are in a strange place and you don't know where you're going, so don't be afraid to ask for directions and ask for help. But please make sure to ask people that are in uniform, like security guards and police officers and like the workers in the underground train stations or just at any train station, because they will know where to tell you where to go. And also, they are definitely safer than asking a stranger off the street where you don't know who you're talking to and they can send you literally anywhere. And also, don't be afraid to use maps. Maps definitely helped me again on my trip. People know that you're a tourist when they see you looking at the maps on the side of the street. But so what? You need to know where you're going. So go ahead and use those maps because they are very helpful. Okay guys, so those were my 10 travel tips. I definitely have a few more, but you know, I just wanted to keep this video as short as possible. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and also leave a comment down below if you have any more travel tips for all the viewers out there. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, please make sure to check out my travel series. I'll have the playlist down below again, just reminding you guys. And also subscribe to my channel. It will mean the world to me if you do. Thank you for watching again, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!